I don't know that Mazine can do this. Wingman can. Oh my goodness, Trent does it again!
Vem tentar o plate, quer secar de novo, olha o Cauã!
Here, the coach of Loud, STK, a wild last round for a wild map. I know going into today, it's very serious. There's a lot of talk about, who will make what when you have all this stuff going on. I'm gonna simplify it for you. How is your team feeling going into today, and how are they feeling now?
I think that's the difference between today and the other day that we play. I think that we have no pressure today. I think that even if our win make us playoffs, I think that we are going to make more chill and let's do our job. And if we can win and have playoffs. But not like so many expectations for today. Just do our job.
All right, well, do your job and best of luck.
Well, they needed to do the job, and they did just that on map 1. Loud pick up the win in dramatic fashion at the tail end of that game.
That last round was ridiculous.
It was the final bullet went through the dang truck and killed the guy. It was just insane. Absolutely stellar stuff there from both teams, truly across the board. But let's actually go ahead and dive into it and break it down a little further here because, Loud, one thing is for certain, when we know that this team cooks up a strategy, they get it done, and they got it done with those post plans.
Yeah, the real impressive thing for me this game was Loud's attacking side. When you're playing this composition with this KO, with this breach, I think they do a really good job of balancing their resources in what they're using in the first wave and what flashes they're saving for the post plant, and also timing when that second cycle of the stun comes back online to have this util to deny the flood. They layer their mollies, their flashes, those
They're not
stuns
just throwing it away
so well, and it makes it so hard to play that retake. And the guy who was playing off all that util was Quick.
Yeah, and he did a great job getting aggressive, too. I mean, he didn't have the best stat line, but even that round that you pointed out, Mimi, where there's all this pressure and elbow, QZK runs through the CT smoke. Yeah, it's a big gamble to do, but it was perfect for the moment. And that's what Loud is so good at doing, identifying the moments in which they need to play like that.
And I love when QZK plays with this confidence, right? He'll always take risks, but I feel like when the team is hitting like this, it's so much more valuable. But even with losing that game, G2 have given themselves an opportunity. They only need to win 3 rounds in this next map to guarantee playoffs and eliminate Sentinel.
That's it. They just need to get 3 rounds, and they will be, at the very least for themselves, they will be moving on to the playoffs here. But for Loud, I mean, firstly, to be G2, you're looking good. It feels like everything's clicking, and then out of nowhere, the door gets closed right in your face. That has to be frustrating for G2, especially going into Icebox.
Sure. I mean, that map was theirs to win, right? That second half, they were playing so well. I think the calling on that attack side was excellent from Valen, but this Loud team just digs deep. That call out of G2's timeout from Loud, too, that push down long.
It's crazy.
They're so good in these like this.
And the way they did it, too, right? We had the fake op shot to bait that, you put a smoke up, I'm just chilling there. Yeah. But then we have 3 people running down, and the key factor was getting out and just playing the 4v2. To clean it up, and that was crazy.
Yeah, they took the gambles, they took the risk. It pays off for them in the end. Of course, so G2, they're only going to be 3 rounds away from being able to qualify for the playoffs. Let's go ahead and hear what Josh RT has to say about that.
Here with Josh RT of G2. Now, Josh, I don't know if you know, but if you win 3 rounds, you're in for playoffs. That's all you have to do. Is that extra pressure? Is that, we got this? Because that was a very close back and forth game, but anything can happen in Valorant.
It's a lot of pressure. No, I think we'll take this map, honestly. Yeah.
All right, best of luck. Hopefully you just didn't jinx it.
Elizabeth playing with fire as always. I mean, look, not a lot to really pull there from Josh RT, but I think one thing was, him just flat out admitting, this is a lot of pressure. It is, right? Like this team coming into this situation.
I think he was being a little sarcastic.
I think he was trolling a little bit.
I think there is a lot of pressure, though. I mean...
I think that on paper there is, but I think this is a team that handles it really well.
For sure. But they do need to pick up those 3 rounds. And look, I'm going to be real with y'all. Sometimes you think you're in a situation where all you need is just 3 rounds.
If G2 in the...
and then...
Okay. I don't think he's going to tell the players that. I don't think the players need to know or will know.
Of course.
Is my honest saying, right? G2 just need to play this like any other game because they played a damn good map one. It was so close, could have been theirs, and they're going to be fired up to win this.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Oh, I'm just letting you know. The human brain goes through layers of doubt and denial over time, and there could be something afoot there. So G2 needs to keep their wits about themselves. Let's go ahead, though, and talk about map 2. Get ready for that here because we're going to be going over to Icebox. But here's the good news for G2 is that they're good on Icebox as well. So I'm not too concerned here, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think that there is really going to be that much in the way of, things blocking them on their way to the playoffs at this point. But again, it's Loud. Loud knows how to really catch people off guard when they think that they're at their most comfortable.
Yeah, and the key difference is in compositions, if it's the same as we've seen these teams play before, is you have the main duelist on the Loud side, right? QCK is going to be on that Jet with the Harbor and the Viper. And then on the flip side, Icy's actually going to be playing the Gecko on this map. And he's looked really, really good on it. And the way that G2 plays Icebox with their utility and delay, it's going to be tough for a team like Loud to deal with. I think we're going to see a lot of those moments that we saw in the last map where they kind of tap bomb, pause, wait for that util dump. But the key difference here is that they don't have that breach to give extra utility. So the utility game is not in their favor.
Yeah, G2 is on a 4-map win streak here on Icebox, playing this comp that no one else in the league is playing. This double scan with the Gecko Sova has been really cool to watch. Combining that with the util you get from the Harbor Viper for tools on that attack side, and also for your retake, flooding back in. I think the way they implement it as well is great. They're always on point with the timings of these util combos and the way they're setting each other up. It's been clean. But if there is a team who is the team of the Harbor Viper comp, who is like the OG of Icebox, it's Loud.
They are the OGs of this comp, but the problem I have is I think it's outdated, actually. The Jet works, for sure. Jet on Icebox can always work. But I love the Gecko. It's just a part of the meta right now. It allows you the flexibility to not have to plant the bomb yourself. And it also opens up Leaf to actually play that Sentinel role as a duelist and take risks that we don't see other Killjoys doing.
But where other teams have struggled to win with the old Harbor Viper, Loud have continued to succeed. They're better at this comp than anyone else, and this is their chance to make playoffs with the 2-0.
We're ready for map 2. Let's go ahead and send it over to Uber and Wyatt for the call.
Thank you very much. Golden Boy and the desk. Loud, of course, hailed as the progenitor of this Harbor Viper composition, right? Many teams going for it. For them, though, they don't have the Gecko in here, right?
No, that is the biggest difference, is that obviously G2, very similar comp, but they have a Dizzy. They have a flash to play off of. And that's going to make a massive difference in situations on defense when we're seeing something we actually saw against Sentinels in the case of Loud. They did win that Icebox match, but at times struggled in situations where they were trying to flood retake off of some of the Harbor utility, like a high tide coming in, going in behind it. They didn't have that additional piece with a flash to push players off of the angles, and we may see that difference come into play here. In fact, I'm sure we will at points in this game. It's G2 starting on the attack side. Less over here towards B. Curiously, not the Harbor here, where you're typically going to see that wall, but things made easy when you get a spam kill straight through that Viper wall to start things off.
And Les really has a sense for that. We've seen it so often from him. We saw how good Loud were through that Viper's pit in the last round of fight. Let's force off the angle here by the recon briefly, but the Viper one way is still in place. High tides exchanged, and G2 are pulling out.
They're trying to go for this fast hit on to A now, with all that utility expended on the B side, knowing the presence of the Harbor is there as well. They know 3 players are in the vicinity. So pressure now onto Cowan Zine, who stepped up massively last week against Sentinels to anchor back in this site.
See Cascade thrown up towards screens by G2. Sarnak still wants to try and play around this box, and it's good, it's beautiful. Need a bit more, and he's always got extra pocket space.
This guy has been so individually skilled this year, Sadhak. He's stepped up in so many moments like this. I mean, last year, previous to that, was never really necessary. He could just focus on his role, but now when he needs to, he is delivering these moments, and frankly, with consistency over this year so far, despite some of the team troubles that they've had. Look at him go.
Amongst all of this, his defense calling is unbelievable. Like what we saw from them on Bind. The stuff he was able to pull out. G2 were never ready for it.
Absolutely. You have QCK on the line B with Marshall right now, which is allowing for a stack for the rest of the Loud side onto A.
Two is eventually brought down. Gun diff saves him in that first engagement. Cowanzine, oh, finds the timing. Not bad. Still going to be traded out though. And Cascade will keep less at bay for now.
This is scary. QCK only with a Marshall on this retake, but can G2 recover any weapons? They've still only got 3 classics in hand, and looks like Loud want to get in fast with a spike being planted.
Another great timing from Les. This time drops on Icy. All those guns are in screens. G2 no opportunity to get them. It's only Trent salvaging a Bulldog. And so they're disadvantaged in the post plant. And from 410 comes QCK. Trent here. Gonna be held at bay. That's the Marshall getting involved.
And Les holding that angle deep from the far right corner of Catwalk. Trent knew he couldn't swing. He knew he would go down there attempting to trade. So was just trying to bide his time. But the real moment of significance is when the spike was going down, Loud recovering the round by getting that timing to flood back into the site right here with Les. A good on-the-fly decision.
Respeite o seu papai, Jonapi.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
Just talking a little smack. G2 now. Gonna be on that full buy. Loud with an opportunity to bonus. And now for the first time, 3 rounds in, we're seeing that standard harbor wall from the B defending side, which cuts this angle off. And oh my God, QCK has gone so deep off of it. So aggressive.
It is playing completely out of pattern here. It's really hard for G2 to preempt any of this. This is about as far forward as you can be while still on the right side of sanity. This is spotted Cowanzine. Finally able to pick that one up there. That's a dash away and an immediate repost because it's QCK, and who else would go for it? Trent in trouble. How does he get out?
How does he slip away?
It's criminal! Criminal. G2's buy going horribly awry in the early stages of this round. They're going to pick up the pieces now and cobble together a push towards this B side. Okay.
Now the advantage of having that Gecko, the wingman, coming in to try and get the spike down, but with the wall up, it's perfectly placed for Sadok to deny.
They're taking liberty after liberty. Don't go into the cove. Okay, Sadok thinks about it briefly. And here is the flank. Les is right on time. He simply arrives exactly when he means to.
And all of that delay allowed him to just work his way up there slowly, not have to make any noise, increase the pace, give away footsteps. The delay from Sadok there. And it's that harbor wall that is so nice that just curves around the default plant spot so he can work up and break that wingman without being in danger. But, I mean, come on, how the hell did QCK get away with that in the early round? So awkward for G2. Trent was trying to reload. No one could trade off of that kill in time.
Loud broke about 3 cardinal rules of Valorant in that round. That's, again, like there's a general conditioning about the flow of the game, and they're disrupting it.
QCK now picking up the operator. That harbor wall is going to go down from 2Es into B main. Yet again. Op going to cover the mid-cross. Actually rotating off now is QCK as the defenders adjust their positioning just a bit.
They're not pushing up for info yet on B. QCK is about to post up. This might force Sadok to trend over towards A here. A little bit of sound. G2 are on the approach. It'll be Leaf with first contact. Cowanzine just hold them one down for the boys! And you love to see it!
And just before last week, it's hard to believe when you see clips like that, but Cowanzine, until the match against Sentinels, did not go positive on a single map. Neither did QCK, as a matter of fact. And those two stepping up so significantly over these past 2 weeks has just boosted Loud back into being the Loud that we actually know. This is the team, this is the world-beating team that we've seen in the past, that we know they can be and should be.
Again, not much to talk about there for G2 on that eco. Back with weapons in hand. Thrash, Reckoning, both available for the attackers, and they are taking it slow in the early stages.
And I don't even think they actually know QCK has an op because he didn't have to fire a shot at all in the last round. deep on this A angle, and look at the rotation it's triggered from Loud. Kaunzin comes over to pick up mid. All the attention over towards B. Hunter's Fury is going to come in, actually, from Kaunzin.
They want that info.
Not ready yet.
G2 conditioned to play so slow over towards B.
Up for more?
Loud wondering just how far up they've gotten because they don't have a presence over there by yellow.
Reckoning committed as well, just to try and force these Loud players back to get some space into the site here.
Out they come. Reckoning about to expire. Starhawk can't interrupt the plant here. It will be 2-is though. Found Leaf. Was elsewhere. There was a catch there by the Thrash. Jonah P eventually finds his spot to explode down mid. Now going to be on that wrap to join the rest of G2, not opting to take mid proper. Our drone will be illuminating. Valen spotted. Now can't hold that angle. He's thinking about a stun.
Oh, come on. How does he get away with that, man?
Astonishing. And look at this. The lockdown. What a spot for it. Loud are above reproach.
This is the team that when we talk about Loud for the first time being on the verge of not making an international event, it's not this team we're watching right now. It's the team we saw in the first few weeks. This is a team that we see make it every single time, consistently make top fours at those events. Winning champions before.
They had it all in that round. The lockdown being the final knife in the back.
G2 feeling the pressure, calling the first timeout of the game right now, Josh RT. Speaking to Liz, he said he was confident they were going to take this map. And listen, you can't blame him. They beat Lev here, and Lev are looking like they are probably the best team in the league, though. Listen, Loud are trying to stake a claim on that one. They had us in the first half, but now they're coming back.
They haven't lost more than 8 rounds against anyone on this map all stage.
I mean, they have just been at such a fantastic level with this duelistless comp, playing with the Gecko, and I am a big fan of it. But right now, Loud dismantling them.
I think Starduck's calling is causing them some serious problems. They play so ponderously over towards the B side of the map that previous round. They give so much time. They don't have the ability to penetrate B properly, get through towards Snowman. Rough.
They are struggling over towards that B main side for sure. On this round, their buy not going to be strong whatsoever, making sure they have a full into the next. They at least do have a couple long-range weapons in the mix here. Again, your standard harbor wall going to come up here to deny early B main, force out a drone to have to re-clear past it, or just waiting it out, and it's going to be the early recon used. That one up top that gets a good amount of information, but with the high tide, none at all actually. 2-E's just able to dodge that.
Not a lot of early aggression from G2 over at A recently. Definitely none from Belt. So Kaunzin felt safe enough pushing up. Now there's so much early warning.
Look at the rotate from Loud. QCK has just picked up the off angle deep on B, and they have 4 players on A now ready for this.
I see at least to pipes. Well, I don't think G2 are committing to this at all. Maybe leave Jonah P and Leaf to have a crossfire here. They're slowing the tempo down. The high tide comes out from Loud to add more stall.
They dodged that recon. Some false information then for Loud with it not getting broken, not getting any pings. And at the same time, G2 have done a nice job extracting some of that harbor utility. They're waiting for that wall to go down, perhaps to go back towards A, but no, they're actually opting to go for B. They're going to leave Leaf in this pushed up position on A to try and catch a player out, make a little bit of noise, perhaps.
Cascade's going to get them in, but QCK sees all that he needs to. Rapidly now trying to reposition backwards. Lit by the recon. Back behind the high tide. This will be a full retake setup for Loud now as QCK is shoved away.
10 seconds left.
Valen low on HP. Close position here for Trent into the site. Dangerous though. Kaunzin gonna drone and probably clear close as well. And he's just caught Trent, and Southhawk capitalizes off of it to get the man advantage. Recon back yellow is going to expose Valen as well.
He's low! So low! 3 HP in a dream for Valen, but he's still able to find his. That's big. G2 forced to play up the side for the most part. QCK dancing in the nano swarm, and the code goes up. Who is going to interrupt this? QCK off of it. Icy versus QCK. The Reckoning, though, still in play, but Loud don't have enough time. G2, tooth and nail, have gotten into this game.
Finally for G2. And it was a good call from VALORANT to cut noise and go all the way back to B. The way that that round played out over on A, where they dodged the recon, completely cut noise, got a bunch of utility out. Very reasonable for Loud to think that they could just then go for a re-hit. So Loud stayed stacked up there, and they had QCK with the op on B.
Let's go, guys. One's all we get. All right.
And it was G2 just off a good call from VALORANT to fall off and go for that B hit instead. Get the site for free.
Of course, the EG
Well done.
contingent getting excited about that result. That's 12 for G2, by the way.
Of course, EG, they need G2 to win this map and the series to go through into the playoffs of the Omega group. If Loud take it, they'll be the ones through. QCK, early fight onto B. Great shot with the operator.
Yeah, Cascade comes now, way too late. It won't bring back Icy, but it will at least get them over towards B again. High Tides exchange once more. Loud again have to respect this.
Cove gonna go down for the safe plant, but actually not gonna plant inside of it. Gives Trent a little bit of space to play off of and hold that angle up top, and the pit comes in from Jonah P as well. Trent, look at how far back he is. He has the Hunter's Fury in case things get scrappy. Can pull that one out to close the round out.
Cummins in here, there are heads turned in his direction. Spots Trent, he wasn't looking.
Brother.
Jonah P there on top of that container. Inside the pit still. Recon to try and light it up. Comes in, eventually drops here. QCK dives in the shorty. Doesn't quite have the height. And now Loud have to pull out. G2 have done it. That's 13 rounds over the series for them. At the very least, they've achieved the tiebreaker.
Leaf gonna go down to the spike at the very end. Just a solid B execute with the tools that they have here that you're gonna see with this harbor. The walls going up. A little bit of a fake with a Cove that time though, not planting inside of it, off to default just to this, just a few feet to the right to kind of throw Loud just a little bit off, and then Trent also able to take a peek up top. Was nice off of that.
Let's go.
Finally, a little bit of momentum. Not the most excited let's go I've ever heard.
Yeah, definitely.
But listen, we'll get there. Maybe if we get 3 in a row, maybe 4 in a row.
Saving energy, giving yourself some headroom is important.
We could get the decibels up on the next let's go.
All right, that's a recon cleared early. Less. What an opener. G2 here lost that belt presence now.
Look at this
slowly slinking away.
position from QCK. Pushed up so far on B.
The risk of making noise, though, if he doesn't anticipate Leaf to be on the other side of that wall. He's got to see some action!
And it was just when Leaf started backing off. If he was in the same position, QCK was as good as dead. The turret is watching this, though.
Sarnak is going to get a confirmation here in a moment. And realizes how close he was to getting a free haircut. That Cascade comes down. QCK's wondering where these shots are coming from. Blades pulled out. He's ready for close quarters.
Really taking a risk there for a moment with the positioning was QCK. No dash online.
Big fight from Jonah. Big fight.
Re-wrapped into kitchen. It seems like he's sniffing this out, aware that a player could have worked up all the way through kitchen into this position. He had the turret there, obviously. Broken.
QCK's done. He's cooked! Jonah finishes the job. A little haphazard, but still effective. And there it is, G2. In that 2 versus 1. Les on a bit of a late flank.
Planted.
Icy can't win that one out. And Les is very healthy now to take this last challenge.
He has the Viper's Pit, but Leaf is the one with the lockdown. Going to be some serious delay here. Is he just going to get right on and take the fight? There's just no way he's got to get out of the way of this lockdown, or he does get it just in time to break it. He's just too clutch. And this is something we've seen all too many times from Loud's star player in Les, and it's certainly not the last time we're going to see a big clutch from him.
Sentinels fans discovering the cure for hypotension in that round.
Les once the ranked upcoming star that Loud picked up in the inception of the team. And now the guy there with Sadhak with the most experience. And the guy as well just steps up in these tough scenarios against Leaf, who has just been incredible since switching to the Sentinel role for G2. And specifically, when he's on the Killjoy, he's putting up 0.9 kills per round. Damn near a kill per round when he's on Killjoy.
That's duelist level. Speaking of which, look at this aggressive play from Loud over towards the A side. G2 are decimated. What do you have to work with now? Venom there, falling away, so it's up to Trent. God, it's been a tough attacking half of this G2 outfit. It has been brutal. Trent's gonna swing this and see an assailant right on the other side of the wall here. Who's got the quicker trigger finger? Time to find out, of course. As per usual, it's less.
Once again, it's QCK opening the round up, getting that first kill with the operator. He is looking absolutely white hot right now. The man who was the lightning rod of so much criticism directed at this squad for their failures in the first few weeks in Americas. People questioning even the run at Madrid, not beating the best teams there. They were looking at this man to step up for the squad, and finally against Sentinels last week doing it. Against G2 right now doing it. Hitting the shots he needs to hit. A resurgence for his individual level.
G2 have the correct read on an aggressive posting by Loud at B. QCK has been an issue. They've tried to force him off this angle. Looks like that L drone was actually just used to check close and not force him off there, so it's gonna be tough to hit that B in general. And through mid, it's a massacre. Sadhak steps up. The mid control for Loud has been at a premium. Dizzy, no problem. Jonah P on his Lona P. Yeah, that's tough.
For the first half of this entire season from Madrid, the qualifier kickoff till now, we had seen so much of Loud experimenting with that Phoenix comp. They were so committed to the double flash look. And it had such a short shelf life, it expired, that when we got to Americas and when they had the problems getting into the country on time to be able to play, they just never had time to adjust and start something new. And it feels like finally now, after several weeks of practice with some of these different compositions, getting rid of that old look with the Phoenix, they are starting to be that comprehensive unit that we expect them to be once again.
Okay, here comes the Thrash. It's sent on in. Icy not getting what he came for, though. Kaunzin's Hunter's Fury. Not even a scratch on G2 after that one. This time it's Tui's. In kitchen as Sadhak is playing closer to Boiler. 410 positioning denied.
And that attacking Silver Drone was committed to try and root less out of the pit, get a tag on him, hopefully spray him down, but it did not.
Drone to P. Not a good way to start the round. The plant comes in though. Awkward position for it. G2 are going to take what they can get here. Thrash 2 Electric Boogaloo. This time hits the mark and they're able to follow it up. Now the pit will come down. Reckoning popped. A problem now for Loud in this retake scenario as Sadhak gets the hot foot. Icy finds another. G2. It's just QCK now to try and hold them back. He's good for just the one. Pinged off by the recon though. That's all but impossible. With the wrong weaponry as well. With this round, G2 would dash the hopes of Sen City. Getting ahead to qualify. QCK's nothing to do.
And there it is. Sadly, the Sen City crumbled. G2, they have officially made it into the playoffs, so they have locked that one up. And now it's in the hands of Loud. They're the ones with their playoff hopes still on the line. They're up 1-0 in the series. Big advantage here on the first half on their map pick, Icebox. If they can take this map down, they will have made the playoffs as well, and EG's hopes will have been dashed.
First tick in the box. Get into playoffs. Second tick would be do it for the boys as EG are looking on. We need a G2 win in the series. Far-fetched as it feels right now.
Loud push up fast to get the orb. Tui's off of that. Reckoning now in play for this final round of the half, so a certainty that that'll be going off in the late round for either a retake situation or a flood situation while the spike is going down for G2.
We've taken it slow. Again, QCK. Very much par for the course from Loud's Jet player on this map. Always looking for more. Aldrome doesn't really... okay! He re-swings that! It just assembled alternately.
And QCK, no matter how hard he's hitting mechanically, he will always be fighting over B main on Icebox. Sometimes it's to his detriment. He's not hitting the shots, but he won't give up. He will still go for it. But on a day like this, where he can't miss that first bullet, you can see the impact that just his self-assuredness, his confidence that it has on the game. So many first kills for Loud.
30 seconds left.
And now they can just play retake with this Reckoning online. Sodhawk even gets another.
Impressive.
And, with time low, they're just gonna deny it outright.
Yeah, there is no chance for G2. Have to fight through this. Wingman down, Icy. Vulnerable as he came through the cove.
Enemy remaining.
Valen with a valiant attempt, but it's a 9-3 half there for Loud. They have been indomitable on
Switching
Icebox.
sides.
Making G2, frankly, look like a worse team than they actually are. Mentioned it already, but this is the G2 on Icebox that defeated Lev, who have just been easily top 2, if not the best team right now in Americas. They are no joke on this map. And Loud look so elite.
Spectacular.
There's a reason they picked it into G2. That had me weary looking at this pool, and now it's making sense. They're giving him a lesson on how to play with that double controller.
Loud eyeing off that playoffs berth that looked unlikely at the start of the stage, but here we are. We're going to head over to the GP and the Des to break down a brutal half if you're a G2 fan.
One could argue it was a touch bittersweet because even though on the server it wasn't necessarily the most, I guess, exciting performance there for G2, they got the 3 rounds, baby. They're in. So that's all that matters for them. They're playoff bound, but now is where the real work comes in here where, they want to try and pick up this win against Loud.
Yeah, but it was a half dominated by Loud. The biggest thing impressing me there was QCK. This guy's aggression was insane. His offing was on point. It feels like the guy we've been waiting to see for so long with this Loud team.
Yeah, and he needs to tap into that because they're going to win a lot more games with him playing like this. He was really abusing that jet dash, staying for prolonged times, and it got him a massive value on not only info, but kills.
Yeah, and their late rounds as well were great. Loud winning out on a lot of these retake situations with Cow and Zine, I think in particular, doing a good job at that. But it was always these opening kills that were setting them on that course.
And just the way that you guys were talking about in the first game, but it was a similar thing here. The way that they were just laying the utility and just preventing them from being able to do anything. And then you have Les, who he has been popping off. Again, I think Wyatt said top 5 player, you can make the case that he's at, at different points in time like the best player in the world. How does he still do it?
Every
He's
international event he goes to, he's in the conversation for top 3 for a reason. This guy is so consistently good.
It's so scary to see how this Loud team has been able to pick up the pieces, Baby Bay, and now they look very dominant in this situation.
Yeah, but G2 is no slouch on this map. Defensive side is where they're really good, and this is where they like to thrive.
If Loud win this one, close out 2-0, they guarantee their slot in playoffs. If G2 could make this comeback happen, though, they could do it for the boys and give EG a slot of their own.
Yeah, you got to check the heart monitors there for Evil Geniuses, make sure that they're still with us. But for now, let's go ahead and send it back over to Uber and Wyatt.
9-3 halftime scores. We return now to the frigid tundra. Loud really setting the pace early.
And a pretty standard B main take here. Pushing that high tide forward to get the space for Loud. Now on the attacking side, Sodhawk pushed up towards A. Turret in tow just to control this part of the map. And look at this drone being expended on B right now from Cow and Zine. But G2, they're not buying that as something significant enough to draw rotations. Matter of fact, they have 3 towards A right now. Expecting this hit to be the likely one to come in, and they'd be right.
That drone's going to be relevant. I want to circle back to it after. Loud here. playing without any flashes to speak of. That's going to be exposed potentially on this side.
I mean, look at how deep Cowanzine is right now. This is ridiculous, but they haven't left A because surely if he's here and the spike isn't going down, they have to still be at A, right? But they've given him so much space and the rest of Loud so much space that they can just rotate all the way over to him.
Less is in a pivotal position. They're not ready for it. They never seem to be. That results in a trade. G2 grouped up as 3 now, all through orange.
Icy does still have the wingman. Cowanzine with great timing.
What a timing. And that means Leaf is up against it. Pistol lost here would be catastrophic for G2 and for EG.
Bot coming back.
And it would be Loud on the precipice of making playoffs. Something that just didn't seem possible early on in this season.
We thought they were done. We thought it was over.
3 weeks straight of, frankly, the lowest level of play we have ever seen from this Loud squad since they began years ago. Debuting at Reykjavik, making it to the finals against that old Optic team, and since then it has just been greatness for 2 straight years.
A legacy.
It felt like we were finally witnessing the fall off, but after a few weeks of that, they said, hell no. And they're right back to that top level form.
Like they forgot about Dre. Unreal. Off we go now over towards the A side. Heavy belts presence for Loud. See the Guardian for Cowanzine may be relevant. 2 Vandals also brought into this. Cascade now to screen them, and QCK just loves to float between Raptors and Gen on rounds like this. Get that backside control. But he's doing it piecemeal. Just splitting it up, not overcommitting, so disciplined.
The scaling onto the site is just perfect from Loud. Cleaning up this anti-eco with ease. I say that, but now Leaf on the flank, maybe with an opportunity.
I've seen easier.
Going to be shut down by 2Es. Easier for him, no doubt. What? A little bit silly there at the end.
2 Vandals. They bought 2 Vandals. They take 2 Vandals out of the round. Problem? I don't think so. 11-3 now in G2. Their last best chance here, truly, to come back into this map. Their best map. Their best map. They are struggling. They're drowning.
When you're looking at the map pool, G2 have to be... Seriously? Hold on. We got Icebox and Lotus, and we get to pick a 3rd map? But Loud are in rare form right now. Less 16-4. What a player. It's going to be that early drone to control B main. Deep harbor wall, making it look like a split could be coming in here onto the B site in totality.
UCK has to play passive for now and opts to drop off that tube angle. Some creeping forward for Loud though on the B side of the map here, and it's a more passive angle being held by Icy here at yellow.
And you can see that alarm bot. G2 are playing around that. It's a key to their decision making here. Sawduck making a lot of noise on A, and Cowanzine did break it. It's going to trigger these mollies as well.
But no opportunity for Icy to play off contact. Cowanzine now wants to creep up.
Now hearing a lot of footsteps. Our G2, Icy with the first leap, swings out top as well. Great timings.
Never check it. Icy here, able to reposition comfortably. Loud whittled down to 3. Do have less they can activate for a late flank through mid, but he'll have to watch out for Valorant, who has a similar idea. Timing though. Less is actually up in tube. Something Valorant is not prepared for. And there is an opportunity for Les here to descend. Here's that drop. There is There is a turret that takes contact here, so he is revealed. Twice. Easy pickings for Trent. Now 2 left for Loud. Making the way up past yellow. They're quite advanced in their positioning, but Valorant made that flank through under tube.
At least not going to get bonused out of this game. G2 had everything on the line in that round, of course. Their entire economy hung in the balance, winning that one out. With some kills as well in that round, Valen has gotten his Reckoning online. 2Es similarly, the Harbor for Loud, Reckoning online as well. Could certainly see those exchanged here. And another little small note I'm looking at is Cowanzine. He's 1 off of his Hunter's Fury. We'll see if they try to play for this Aor where they're gathered up right now, have that key ultimate online for a post plant.
Oh, they've picked a lightly held site here. Can G2 hold them off? Is that high tide? Okay, this is definitely going to force a full retake setup here for G2. They do, of course, have the Dizzy to play off of once Icy gets here, but he's a long way from the action.
Now getting close is QCK. They're using this wall to their advantage to really dig deep into the site.
All right, counter reckoning here. Coming out from G2. They're going to pick their mark. Trying to approach here through screens where Kalenzin was waiting for Leaf. This is by no means a short lead for the defenders.
Oh my god.
Jonah P is good though. He's able to drop down off rafters, and Les has a tough time tangling with him. Up by 410. Wall renewed by the defenders now, and Les doesn't know where to be looking. He gets a stay of execution and turns it into a kill. You can't let him get away with this every single
Get away with that. And how does Kalenzin is a robot in that moment? How does he break the wingman into the Dizzy and get the headshot? And it began to such a small little cerebral moment from him when that reckoning came in from Valen. There was just that little corner, you can see it just slowly pacing to his left, but it didn't connect onto him. So he was able to get that first on Leaf. Didn't think anyone could be on that corner, or one of those bolts would have rained down on his head. Kalenzin has just been phenomenal these past 2 weeks. Resurgence doesn't say enough about how much he's stepped up from the first half of the season into the second. Back to that elite level of play. One of the best initiators that we've got in the game at the moment. G2 taking a timeout. One away from this loss, one away from EG's hopes being dashed. Their playoff chances rest in the hands of G2, and Josh RT, the coach right now on this timeout, allowed 1 round away from getting themselves into that Omega Group top 3 and into the playoffs here, continuing their chances at being able to make it to an international land for, I want to say, the 8th time in a row now.
How do they extract maximum value out of a potential lockdown? That's the question for G2. They're pretty well bought up. They've got it all to work with here, and they've got to lay it on the line. Their last chance here in stage 1 to do so. It's gonna have to be magic.
Gathered up outside AR Loud. Kalenzin with those kills has the Hunter's Fury ready to go. The one ultimate in play at the moment. And it's gonna be that deep recon in. Does get broken. Drone as well here. So a lot of presence being shown from Loud early. They're gonna have to contend with the full KJ setup when they get into the site here.
One of the players from Loud got lit on their way in, and QCK lands awkwardly. Might have something to do with the bullets inside of him, but I digress. Hunter's Fury expended now. Louder up and on the side. There's going to be some hot and heavy fighting here up close as they try and push through this cove. Oh, Wingman sees it all! Beautiful setup. But Kalenzin is always there for 2. There's a thrash here for Icy though. That quick double has earned him that ultimate. The spike is so far away from Loud though. They're going to need to spelunk to recover it.
Here.
Les pings it. About the approximate location. Asking Kalenzin to try and light it up. G2 finds him. Now can Les do it again for the umpteenth time this series?
30 seconds to play
30
with.
seconds left.
Many others I'd say it's not possible, but it's Les! That's 1. Now it's a straight swing. Icy's low. 5 HP left. That's all he's got to work with. And Les, the Angel of Death, does it again. Absolutely disgusting.
And Loud are back. MIBR couldn't do it. Furia couldn't do it. The hope of Brazil. Loud, as it always has been and seems to always will
Can't get rid of him, man.
be. They were down all season, but they're not out. They're in the hottest form they've been in so far this year, headed into the playoffs next week, and it feels like now they have a legit chance at making it to Shanghai, continuing their streak of making it to every single international event, always being a contender, always fighting for the top spots. One of the most experienced IGLs in the game, one of the best that we've seen in Sadhawk. Les, one of the best Flex players, Viper players, Sentinels that we've seen in the game, has been for years. What more can you say?
They've had to reinvent. They came into stage 1 awkwardly. The travel was uncomfortable. They still had those outdated Phoenix Breach compositions they had to pivot away from on really short notice, and it cost them. It cost them a number of losses at the start of the stage, but this team always finds a way to peak at the perfect time.
They've just proven that you can never not believe in the leadership from Sadhak. From what this man is able to do with this team, what he's done with this team. The second they looked like they were out. Again, we have never seen Loud closer to rock bottom than we did for these first few weeks of stage 1.
They knew it, we knew it, everybody knew it.
They've crawled out of that pit that it seemed like they weren't going to be able to, with 2 matches left against Sentinels, the Madrid winners last week. They take them down in convincing fashion, and G2, who are contending with Lev, have a number of big wins this season. The team that has stuck together for years as well made it into partnership. Another convincing win on their map pick, and then on Icebox, which has been so good for them, blowing them out.
It was a blowout. Make no mistake, that one was not particularly close. This Loud engine has gone into a high gear. Cowanzine is looking stunning. QCK has been extremely impactful. So many of those situations hinging on great operator play and just the general disregard for your self-preservation and for your opponent's ability. That was really hard for VALORANT, I think, to try and game plan around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is and was a battle between 2 of the top IGLs that we have here in Americas. I mean, Sadhak, most people would say he is the best IGL we have here in Americas, and VALORANT leading the squad over the past couple years to try and make it into partnership, which they did successfully through Ascension last year, the team to win it to make it up here into Americas. And it's not over for them yet. They won enough rounds that they have made it into the playoffs. Similarly to Loud, they are going to have they're going to have a big match where everything is on the line, because the first seeds, they make it through to the double elim stage. Both of these teams, though, 1 loss, and they are out in the playoffs, but it's not over for either yet.
That's right, again, no second chances there, but for now, we're going to take a moment, reflect. We're going to head down with Elizabeth at the stage, standing by for our Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Here, joining me now is Loud's very own star, QCK. An absolutely incredible performance from you today. They were talking in the cast how you've been kind of on the brunt of receiving a lot of criticism from your performance. Do you think you just silenced everyone today with your performance and how good you were today?
A gente está aqui com o herói do jogo hoje, dos melhores. Você tem recebido pouco de críticas online, né? Principalmente por ser novo no time. Como é que isso te afeta? Você acha que isso faz alguma coisa para você?
Cara, eu acredito que eu recebi pouco de hate, não vou dizer injusto, mas foram poucas partidas que eu não consegui performar o que eu deveria, mas eu consegui agregar pro time de diversas formas, além de impacto de kills. Eu voltando individualmente com certeza ajuda o time, mas não é isso que tá fazendo a gente ganhar, é a gente conseguir se unir como equipe e ser uma equipe cada dia melhor.
Yeah, I think I got a little bit of hate, not exactly, you know, okay, but it was a little too much. But it's not about only me playing well. It's about the whole team, you know, coming together and playing as a good team.
Well, let's talk about that, because this is a revitalized Loud. They were talking in the cast, we were all watching. You know, this isn't the Loud that we were worried weren't gonna make an international event for the first time in a very long time. This is Loud that we know, we love, and most importantly, we trust and support. So what is this Loud like now?
Essa é a Loud que a gente está esperando ver, né? É a Loud que todo mundo conhece internacionalmente. E o que é a Loud agora pra gente?
Cara, acho que vocês podem esperar a mesma Loud que vocês conheciam antes do começo desse campeonato. Provavelmente disputando pra vaga pro Masters. Acredito que a gente tá bem forte e que a gente vai vir pra buscar essa vaga.
Yeah, you can all expect the old Loud, the Loud you knew from the past years. We're gonna be very strong for the rest of the season and for these playoffs.
Well, I just received confirmation for your playoffs. You were the 3rd seed going into playoffs. That is a lot of work, but listen, God's strongest soldiers, toughest battles, right? So how do you feel about being the 3rd seed going in?
Vocês vão ser o 3º seed, né? Entrando nos playoffs. Como é que você tá se sentindo com essa posição?
Cara, sendo bem sincero, não é o que a gente esperava quando a gente voltou do Masters para disputar esse campeonato, mas acredito que a gente teve uma resiliência muito boa no campeonato, então a gente vai ter muita confiança para buscar essa vaga.
TBH, it was not what we were expecting. We were expecting to place a little bit better, but we are feeling very resilient and we're gonna do a good thing.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, obrigado. Everyone give it for QCK one more time. An incredible performance. But we're going to throw back to the analyst desk because we have a treat. It's Sadak and Valen in the post show. So friends, take it away.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Yeah, you know, we figured we mix things up a little bit. The Red Bull's out, all the little minions are getting excited about it, and we thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and bring two great IGLs together here to chat about that, you know, just qualifying and, you know, the match and just everything all together here. First things first, so congratulations on the victory. I do want to just get right out in front of it. You guys have had a massive turnaround this season.
Christ, yes.
How does it feel from where you were in the beginning? Because it felt like you guys were dire. And now here you are. It feels like a completely rejuvenated, revived Loud.
Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't think we deserve it yet because thank God our group sucks because that gave us a chance to qualify. But I don't know, man. Like at the beginning, we were so bad, like so bad. Nothing was going.
Can you pinpoint it on one particular, on a few things? It's never just one thing.
Yeah, it's never one thing. But like I think we were lacking like heart to play. You know, like we needed some heart, we needed some emotion, some fire.
Yeah.
In us, and we kind of like lost it after Madrid. The way we lost, like we couldn't recover properly. So that's something we were working on because like tactically we felt always okay or decent. But we were losing because, I don't know, we weren't hitting our shots or taking it seriously in a way, you know?
Interesting.
So, yeah, I mean, we always try to fix that. We fixed it. We fixed that in the match against Crew, actually. Yeah. But things didn't go well. So we were like, okay, now we fixed that. We need to focus on the tactics and compositions and all of that.
Yeah. Funny enough, though, you guys also were in a little bit of a similar pickle at the beginning of the year, trying to find that identity. So, like, hearing... You know, Sadak say that as well. Like, what is your reaction to that? But also, you know, for your team as well.
Yeah, I definitely like relate and understand what he's saying because sometimes, especially for a team that qualifies for international event and then comes back home, sometimes, like when you lose bad, it kind of feels hard to get back in the groove, especially when there's no like huge match or big tournament like upcoming. You kind of have to claw your way back. For us, I think. Like, you know, we made a roster change, and ever since then, it's been kind of easy for us to, like, get that fire just because it was, like, a new team, a little bit of, like, a honeymoon happening. And, yeah, I mean, we had some rough losses, like, even today, but we're, like, growing every day and trying to get better. And currently, I feel like our team has that fire and passion. We just need to refine, like, a lot of the small things and try to fix, like, maybe the match time mentality. Because especially today, like, we were getting owned by Loud. It felt very pressuring. And it's hard to recover sometimes for us. So if we can get over that hurdle, I feel like we'll be in a similar situation.
Yeah.
Both you guys had similar stakes today, and this was the game that was like the qualifying game, the last chance to make it into playoffs. I wanted to start with you, Sadak, because you've been in this position a lot of times. It seems like, Sadak, that your team is oftentimes slow starters, even in international tournaments, and you tend to heat up into this. Are you just used to the pressure of these do-or-die matches? Does it register with you still, and does it affect the team still?
I mean, I've been competing for quite a while, and sometimes I need a little bit of emotion, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this position always feels right to me, like it's do or die, and we always, like, want to deliver. So, yeah, I mean, the team also likes that, but they're super young, so maybe, oh my God, the pressure, no. You know, like it's the end of their lives if we lose in a way. But yeah, we love those situations.
And what about for you, Valen? Because, I mean, you went to Reykjavik way back in the day, you've played in Ascension, but playing in VCT Americas in like a Tier 1 league is still very new. What was it like today for you and the team with that pressure?
It was a really weird game because we knew that we just had to win like 14 rounds to qualify, but we still really wanted to win this game. Like mentality-wise was we want this championship point. We want to prove that we can beat Loud and be like a top Tier 1 team in VCT. Obviously, it didn't go our way, but yeah, I mean, I understand like Sadak's point of view because sometimes like you want that pressure and it kind of motivates you to work even harder. So I'm not surprised that they played so well today under that do or die situation.
Yeah, no.
For you guys as well, it seems like you're the only team that's still playing like Harbor Viper Icebox. A lot of teams have picked up kind of the variant like you guys have with the Gecko KO or Gecko Sova, things like that. But you're like the only team that's still running the comp that you guys innovated last year. What do you think makes you guys so good at that comp, that you're still finding success with it where other teams have failed?
I think we have the right players for the characters we're playing, for the Asians we're playing. Like, for example, you take Les, he's an insane Viper. You take Twist, he's an insane Harbor player.
Yeah.
And I just play Kyushu. It's whatever, right? Like,
Just
Kyushu, yeah, just put a turret there. But like...
Hey, man, you do that. You place that turret very good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're one of the best.
And the alarm mode, right there, yes.
Right there, buddy.
It's more like, yeah, it fits with our playstyle. Like, people are opting more for flashes, in a way. And we're like, yeah, we don't need flashes.
Are you not on the give me all the flashes train anymore?
Not in that map.
Not in that map.
Not in that map in particular. Yeah. In the others, yes, for sure.
I love it.
What do you think makes them so hard to play against? Because this
Come on, tell me.
I mean, from my perspective, if you give them a hot start and they have momentum going, they are unstoppable. Like, they're just multi-killing every time. QCK is down B long against my Sova drone and my Cascade and still getting picks. Like, he's finding all the little gaps. And also, I think their prep was so good. We have a lot of footage on our Icebox.
Yeah.
And it felt like, it honestly felt like as an IGL, they knew what I was trying to do almost every time. So I think we got prep diff pretty hard, and also they started like 4-0, started hot, and it was like, how do we stop these guys, man?
Yeah.
Do you agree? Was it prep today?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
We prepped a lot for that match. It was super important for us, so we did a little bit extra homework for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were understanding what they were trying to do, and for us, like, for example, Vine was kind of like, we knew what they were trying to do, but at the same time, like, they were having these surprise kills, like on me, for example, on Hookah or some random pick. So they were like destroying us on Vine, and after we kind of reset, it was like, okay.
Yeah.
And Icebox was like, yeah, we know what they're gonna do.
Before we move on, I do want to ask just one final thing, mostly just about, like this team here. I mean, what was it about this team that you guys were concerned about coming into it? Because it felt like the game plan, you guys were prepping aggressively here. It did work out very well. What were the things that you were concerned about?
Well, for sure, you guys are insane. Of course, you have amazing players. I respect every single player you have. We used to scream a lot in the past last year, so we know like you guys are actually insane. And also like they have amazing coordination with utilities sometimes. So it doesn't matter if we are prepared for that. It's more like, okay, they're gonna just wreck us if we're not like breaking the Gecko utility or just being ready for the flashes and everything.
Yeah.
You did say in an interview that you looked up to Sadok and you wanted to play him in a match. You gonna give me a little sweet moment?
I mean, it was definitely like such a fun experience, like even though I was getting owned. And before the match, like I was super amped up just to kind of maybe prove my shot, like, hey, I can call versus one of the best, if not the best. And even like, I don't want to glaze too hard, but even when I was trying to come up in the scene, I would always watch Loud because they were like probably the most innovative team like throughout Valorant. And so it's kind of cool to see like a team try a bunch of new ideas, different comps, and gain inspiration from that.
Yeah.
And I got to go toe-to-toe today. Obviously, I didn't get the result that I wanted, but it gives me motivation to work even harder. Like I know now I got like the match experience, and there's long ways ahead for me, but I'll try to work.
That smile, it almost seems like, are you having like a little bit of like a I made it moment?
Honestly, not really.
No?
Like, I don't really feel that way. Like, I made it. I just try to take each game, like, how it is, like, each game one at a time. And I'll feel like that maybe once I, win Champions or something. But until then, I'm still very new, and I understand that, and I just want to work my way up to the top.
Look at you, Theo Sadak, always just inspiring people.
That's amazing, man.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at the standings here because stage one is officially over and done with. So here we go. And as it's locked in, Crew in first place. You got C9 in second and G2 coming in third. And then over in the Omega group, Leviathan is going to be sitting at the top of that group. You got 100 Thieves in second, and Loud have now made their way.
Your head sit up.
Jesus Christ, man. Like, the Omega
Crazy
group
start.
is lacking, Like, it's not good at all.
Hey.
Like, we won like minus 13 rounds. Like, yeah, sad.
Hey, but you know what? All it is just inspiration for you guys to just do even more. Both of y'all,
Yeah,
right?
thank you for the VOD. I will watch Icebox. I still made it somehow, but I'll take it.
Hey, you'll take it. All right. Well, this is how the playoffs are going to break down here since we have our mid-season playoff bracket. And it is going to be C9 versus G2 to start things off, and then Loud versus 100 Thieves. And the winners of that will take on Crew and Leviathan. Now, well, guys, I mean, we're going to get your thoughts. You're going to be facing off against C9 at familiar territory for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, we scrim them a lot, so we're pretty familiar with each other.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to come down to a game of execution. You know, they execute their strats very well, and so do we. If we can stop Oxy from getting 30 kills, I'm pretty confident we're going to win the game.
Yeah, and now you guys are going to have to deal with 100 Thieves. What are your thoughts on them?
Not a thought yet.
Not a thought yet. I love that.
I'm still processing, everything.
I did want to ask, though, since you guys are the 2 and 3 seeds from your group, you have to play a single elimination match before even having a chance to qualify to Shanghai. That's pretty uncommon in formats. Does that change things at all, or just add that extra bit of pressure?
I think, at least for us, it's good, Like, if we win, it means we deserve to win, in a way. Like, it's not just pure luck that we're here, And also, like, it builds momentum in a way, because if you win that and then you have to face another one, it's like, okay, let's do it, let's go. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Same for you.
I kind of understand what he's saying. When I was in Ascension last year, we had like a do or die run where we were in lower bracket to make it to Brazil and to qualify. And I think it builds a lot of like inner team trust when you go through those very tough matches. You know you have no second chance, and you got to give it your all. And when you come out with the win, especially after that, you just have so much like kind of that fire, like that ignite on the team, and everyone's amped up. And now you get a second chance too, so it's even like less pressure, but all the hype and
that's
just
true,
go
that's
in.
true.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, good to see you guys are approaching this with a great mindset. It's going to be very entertaining. Let's go ahead, though, and see the schedule when we're going to be checking out the matches that we just saw in the playoff bracket. So first things first, it's going to be G2 taking on C9. Sorry, Valen, you're going to have to wake up early for that game there. I'm sure you're used to it by now. And then 100 Thieves takes on Loud. And, well, Sadak, you just have to keep yourself awake as you get ready for that. I'm sure the nerves will keep you ready and antsy.
I'm going to sleep like a baby. I'm going to be...
Never mind. Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you so much for doing this as well. Very unconventional, but we do appreciate it. Felt very confident with both of y'all. So appreciate it very much so. And that's going to do it for us. That's it for stage 1, baby. We wrapped it. And what a wild ride it has been. But don't worry, there's going to be plenty more action coming at you on Wednesday for the playoffs. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you stay tuned to all the VALORANT socials to find schedulings and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next time. Take care, everyone. Peace.
Thank you both. Good luck in playoffs.
Good luck, guys.
You want to be known as the best duelist in the world? Can't be sleeping, bro.
Hold up, I'm going to sleep.
Wall finally double it up. That's a 1-for-1. Guardian left. And he lands that shot
They don't have the angle.
It's still a halfway, almost no time left. Oh, he gets it from JCC! On to Zeppa, but also lost his teammate in the process. And Oxy getting 4 in the round in that overtime. No, it's Vanity with a judge. Oh boy. It's a judge. It's a jump. It's a judge. Three kills coming through. And instead goes for the util. Showstopper out for Oxy, and Vanity doesn't need the help from Oxy. The last 2 kills allow C9 to win this series against MIBR.
Okay, he gets into U-Haul. There was no pick up. Oh my God! Why did I do it? How did I do it?
Magic from QCK.
They're gas fishing. Two are on the approach. I mean, Leaf, the first contact. Cowan's just hold them one down for the boys. How do you like to see it? Many others I'd say it's not possible, but it's less! It's all he's got to work with.